Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and this review is on Sisu. Sisu is a historical action thriller movie that technically it first came out in 2022 at like some sort of premiere film festival since it first came out in 2022, but then it was officially released in 2023 this year. So, in this movie, during the last days of World War II, a solitary prospector, like some sort of like a middle-aged person, like a middle-aged guy, he crosses paths with Nazis on a scorched earth retreat in northern Finland. When the soldiers decide to steal his gold, yeah, that's right. He finds gold somewhere in the dirt and mud and ground. So basically the soldiers decide to steal his gold. They also quickly discover that they just tangled with no ordinary miner. And of course, this is the movie that gives you both Mad Max and John Wick vibes. So, I first heard about this movie coming out, but back in I think earlier this year. I think back in because there was a lot of April releases that came out in April. So when I heard about this movie that came out in late April this year, this movie did interest me. It kind of interested me a little bit since I think it looked like a fun action packed action thriller film that's set during the last days of World War II, and of course from what I've heard from many people that this movie gives you vibes. It gives you both John Wick and Mad Max vibes. And after watching this film, that's what it kind of does. That's what it feels like. Sisu kind of almost felt like feels like a movie where it gives you both John Wick and Mad Max vibes. Yeah, basically for the middle-aged guy who's basically trying to get the gold so he can sell the gold. And the character that you're basically rooting for in this movie is definitely the main middle-aged person. Where he's trying his best to sell the gold. And of course, he also has a dog on the way. He's also accompanied by a dog in this film, and that's what it kind of does feel like. It kind of feels almost like John Wick a little bit, since it's like I said before, and Sisu gives you John Wick and Mad Max vibes. I thought this movie was also very awesome too. And the reason why it's called Sisu is basically that it's actually explained at the beginning of the film where Sisu is kind of almost like a word that should not be spoken. Of some sort. I mean, if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about, and if you've seen the movie, you can explain to me, of course. Yeah. So yeah, and I thought the performances between I thought the performances were well done. I thought the performances were well acted, and even for the explosion sequences, and even the sound designs I thought were well edited. And even the explosion effects, the visuals and the explosion effects, I thought were well shot. And the cinematography itself, it's well shot. And yeah, it's kind of like how the reason why it's called Sisu. I mean, I already kind of explained it in this video, but with a title called Sisu, it kind of some Disney fans out there might think of Sisu as in the dragon that Awkwafina plays in Raya and the Last Dragon, But this movie completely has nothing to do with that. Yeah, because I even talked, because when I went to see a mystery movie at Regal, when I went to see Hypnotic during an early access mystery movie screening at Regal, because I was talking to a few other moviegoers that were sitting next to me. I was talking about the past mystery movies, because Sisu was actually one of the mystery movies that played during my Regal screenings. Yeah, Sisu was actually one of the mystery movies that played last time. I think that was before I saw Hypnotic. But I also said to the moviegoers that were sitting next to me and right on top of me. I also told them that from what I heard, Sisu is kind of like John Wick meets Mad Max, and yeah, they really appreciated that fact there. Yeah, that scene there. And pretty much, it was basically those types of moviegoers that are probably pretty much not hardcore Disney fans like me, of course. When I told them that where the Sisu, the title Sisu kind of sounds like the dragon from Raya and the Last Dragon, but that Awkwafina plays. But like I said, this movie completely has nothing to do with that, and since this movie's actually completely different and way far from that. And I also really like how this movie kind of almost feels like a war film as well. Since I think the setting, like the way the setting takes place, it kind of does feel like a war film of something, even though it's more like an action thriller movie. And even though it's not, and technically it's not really a historical film. I think it's more like kind of almost like a war action thriller movie. Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of almost like I said for one last time, it's like Mad Max meets John Wick. I know I said that multiple times. but aside from all that, overall, Sisu was an awesome movie, and I'm gonna give Sisu 4.5 out of 5 stars. If you haven't seen this film yet, then I say I recommend giving it a watch. And there you have it, guys. That's gonna be it for my review on Sisu. And that's gonna be it for this video. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.